Good morning, coughing, and welcome to the premier Pokermon channel on YouTube. I'm your eponymous host, Shadowcloak, and today we're kicking off the Pokédex series, where we talk about the different decks that you can play Pokémon with. Now, the mod does bring its own decks into the mix, 8 at the moment, but I thought we'd start off with the Balatro staple, the Plasma deck. And in order to go deeper into the Plasma deck, we're going to do a fun little challenge. First though, let's discuss how the Plasma deck actually works. The description for the deck says, balance chips and mult when calculating score for the played hand, double base blind size. But what does that actually mean? Let's take a simple pair of kings as an example with no jokers. For any other deck, the calculation involves adding the base chips for the hand and the chips provided by the cards themselves, then multiplying that by the mult value. In this case, we add 10 base chips to the 20 provided by the 2 kings, giving us 30, and we multiply that by the base mult of 2, giving us a score of 60 for a pair of kings. With the Plasma deck, however, the formula is different. Rather than multiplying the chips and mult, they will instead be added, divided by 2, and then squared. In our example, we take the 10 base chips plus the 20 card chips and add them to the mult of 2, giving us 32. We then divide that 32 by 2, giving us 16, and then multiply it by itself, leading to a score of 256 for a pair of kings. What does this mean in practice? To put it simply, chips are going to be much more impactful in the early to mid game, and this is why the base value of the blinds is doubled for the Plasma deck. If we add a simple B-drill to our pair of kings in a regular deck, it'll increase the score by a bit less than 4, but in the Plasma deck it'll increase it by more than 10. This is why the scoring requirements are doubled for the Plasma deck, and in the early game even that isn't enough for a challenge. With most decks you need a 5-card hand to clear the first round, but with Plasma you only need a 2-pair. Effectively then, you only really need chips to navigate the early game. However, the scoring requirements in Balatro increase exponentially as you advance through the antes, while chips are only ever additive. What this means is that there's an inflection point, a moment when you need to transition into X-Mult in order to keep up with the scoring. And how does the late game go with the funky math of the Plasma deck? Well, there's a reason the Plasma deck is generally used for high score attempts. With no jokers, if we play a hand with 5 glass red seal kings, we'll get a score of a little over 4 million on most decks, but a score of almost 70 million on the Plasma deck. So the usual play pattern with the Plasma deck is to start off getting as many chips as possible, and then start building up your mult until you have enough X-Mult to carry you through the rest of the run. The tricky part is finding the correct spot to transition. Mult by itself isn't enough to make it through the early game, and chips by themselves aren't enough to make it through the late game. Or are they? If we do the Plasma formula in reverse, we can get to the number of chips needed to beat a non-endless run. The final boss requires a total score of 800,000. Assuming the standard 4 hands per round, that means each hand needs to score on average about 200,000. For a hand to score 200,000 in the Plasma deck with only the single mult provided by a high card, you need each hand to provide around 900 chips. Now the question becomes, is getting to 900 chips per hand by the time you get to the final boss possible? That's what we're going to find out. The challenge for this run is to clear the final boss without using a single point of mult outside of the one provided by the high card, that is, absolutely no extra mult whatsoever is allowed. In practical terms, this means only ever playing high card, and anything that could even potentially add mult is forbidden. Thus, no planet cards are allowed, no items that give you a random joker, enhancement, or addition, no glass, no steel, and so on. In fact, the only thing allowed that could even alter the mult from 1 is baby Pokermon, except Togepi, since their X-Mult is always less than 1. The catch with this challenge is that it's impossible to beat the first round using only high card, even if you play 4 aces. Thus, the first round is given a pass. However, starting with round 2, no mult. So, is it possible to beat a gold stake run on the Plasma deck without ever using a single point of mult? Let's find out. So, as I mentioned earlier, it's impossible to get out of the first round just playing high card. It would naturally be impossible to get out of the second round as well, so for this run to be successful we need to find a joker in the first shop. So I re-rolled until we found a chips joker. And this is what we have here, we have Totodile. Is it the best chips joker ever? No, not really. But it gives us +1 hand, which is always very useful, especially since some moments are probably going to be pretty close. And it gets more chips the more hands you play. The downside of Totodile is that you basically want to play 5 cards whenever possible, even if you're playing a high card. So it veers into a little bit of the Weasel territory, but it's plenty enough for us, for our purposes here, so let's do that. Obviously we can get the Absol, and this energy is wrong, we don't even have the money anyway. Let's just move on. Maybe we can get this clearance sale, maybe not, let's see. Economy tag, not really interesting right now, so let's just go here and play our high card. Naturally, we start off with 4 pairs. We can't get the maximum value, but that's okay. So, first hand, 256, though we only got the 4 cards. So the second hand should be a little bit more than twice, right? Totodile gets plus chips for each card played, so the more cards you play, i.e. the more hands you play, the higher it's going to score, effectively doubling after each round. Not exactly, but pretty much close to that. So if we play another high card, that gives us 900, more than 900, right? So that gives us more than 600 for the second one. Let's see over here. Venus, we can't use that. That's a Mult. Oddish is a Mult. So we could open this pocket pack, but let's just save our money for now. We could get this clearance sale, but I think we're just going to save our money. Let's go here. This is definitely not a problem. Let's do this. 1. 2. And close. 3. So that's already getting us into the 2500 range, so we should be okay with Totodile for a while, and it's going to evolve after some time too. What about this shop? We could get a Sunstone, but that's not really doing anything for us. Could go with the Breloom. I might consider that, but as an Eternal Joker that doesn't score, I'm not so sure, right? Since we only can use chips to score, we probably are going to need all 5 of our Joker slots. So let's try this Jumbo Pack maybe. What do we have here? Could be a Thunderstone, could be a Heartstone. Prism Scale gives us more of the same suit, but we don't care about suits. This is the wrong energy. We can't use lucky cards, they could give us Mult. Can't use Shiny Stone, it can give us Mult. So it's between the Thunderstone and the Heartstone. The Heartstone is pretty cool. Obviously, stone cards are going to help us with our scoring. Don't give us any Mult. But for now, I think I'm going to take the Thunderstone and get a little bit more economy going. And let's go next. So we're going to clear this one pretty easily. Let's maybe get a gold 2 and start playing our high cards. So we should need 3 in this round. 2, and this one will get us close to 2500. There we go. Now 3 extra gold. Okay, what about the next shop? So we got a Vanillux. That's pretty cool. Obviously it's not cool that it's perishable, but it's basically the Pokémon equivalent of ice cream. And when it melts completely, we get 2 double tags, which can be pretty interesting. The bad thing is that this is scoring so many chips that it's gonna phase out with the perishable before it has a chance to fully melt. But still, that's a lot of chips. Let's see if we can find some money in this Arcana pack first then. There's some money, obviously the Hermit instead of the Temperance. Okay, now we can open this pocket pack, maybe get the Joker first, just in case. And here, Pokeball could end up giving us a Mult Joker, so we're not going to do that. Dawnstone is only ever going to give us $2, so we're definitely not looking forward to those. And Linking Cord is irrelevant since we're playing high card, so let's just take the energy here. And energy scaling is actually pretty important, especially since chips tend to scale faster, or at least stronger, as it were, than Mult. Anyway, let's go next. Let's continue. Although here it doesn't really matter since the Vanillux is going to win every round for us while it's still alive. Gives us time to evolve the Totodile, maybe find some other backup chips. Let's see, we can take this Emperor and we have 2 Jumbo Packs. Obviously we're not going to take the Hone, since it's just going to make a lot of Jokers, well, maybe not a lot, but a few Jokers unusable if they're holographic or polychrome. So let's just start off with this Emperor, see what it gives us. Not much, but let's hang a couple of cards, see what else we can find here. We can take out the 7 and the 8. Doesn't really matter. Just want to make our deck smaller to find gold cards and things like that. Over here, no use for grass. Can't use glass cards, can't use magic cards. Could be the thick club, although even though it would end up adding quite a few chips in the long run, it's probably still not worth it. I'd rather just get this water stone, enhance one of our cards. Let's try this other pack. Here we have, again, not much at all. I think the only option here for us is the Dawnstone, right? Metal Coat gives us steel. This gives us a shiny card. We don't care about making kings. We don't have any Earth Pokemon. So yeah, I guess we just save this for the $2. And that's about it. All face cards are face down. That's not a problem. Let's discard these just in case they're the same. Doesn't really matter, but why not? Oh, I forgot the Water Stone. And we're already clear. Oops. That's what you get with anxiety. Alright, let's get... Actually, let's keep that. We don't want to find another one in the shop. Pokeball, can't use that. Let's see if there's anything cool in this standard pack. Foil card would be great. Steel card means we can't use it. We have this holographic purple seal. I could take this and simply never play it, and then it would never score Mult, but I think that taking it would be against the spirit of the challenge. So instead I'm going to take this 7. It's not very easy when you're trying to play 5-card, high card, as it were, since you need other cards to be lower than it. But still, $3 is money, so let's take that. And now let's try this Spectral pack. We get a Deja Vu, and we get a Trance. Since planet cards give us Mult, we don't care about those. Even if we accidentally get one, we just sell it. So let's do this Deja Vu on the Ace, I guess. We could also use the Water Stone first, but maybe it could be more interesting to make it a gold card instead. Yeah, we don't have to make this decision now. Let's just get the red seal, use this Dawnstone to get over the interest threshold, and play one card. Oh, what we could do is use the Water Stone on the 7, since we want to play it anyway. Not to the maximum Croconaw value, but we still have the Vanillas giving us a bunch of chips, clearing everything in one go. Alright, Wiglet, not for us. Planet card, not for us. So let's open this standard pack. What do we have here? Glass, we can't take that. We don't really care about any other blank cards, so let's just skip this and open the Arcana pack. Here we have a Temperance for $7. I guess it's better than nothing. Can't use the Magician, can't use the Chariot, don't care about suits. Probably then we just use the Emperor. Can't use the Wheel of Fortune, can't use the Judgment. So let's just try one reroll. Can't use these either, so fine. Let's get back over the interest cap and one-shot the next one. I think it's a one-shot. Actually, now I'm not so sure. Let's find out. Yep, a little bit short, but that's okay. No problem with playing a second one. It would be nice to get a little economy going, so that we don't have to rely only on the interest, but so far we haven't seen much. These are Mult Jokers, we don't care, especially since they're rental. Let's try these Arcana packs then. Can't take the Great Ball, could take the Fool for the Emperor, could take the actual Emperor. We don't care about planet cards, we don't care about rank, so let's just take the Emperor, I guess. That's another Devil. Oh, okay, now we can use that on the Red Seal Ace. The Moon we don't care about. Let's try this one then. Here, a Soul. There are some chips, legendary Jokers, but if we're not taking Pokeballs, if we're not taking Great Balls, then I think it's fair or correct not to take the Soul. So we could do another Emperor, I guess. We don't care about suits. We can't use Steel. Unfortunately, we don't have the Ace to use the Devil. So what we could do instead, since a lot of the tarot cards are going to be duds for us anyway, is we can make this 4 into a gold card, and then get another gold card for when we draw our Red Seal. Let's go next, since we don't have a lot of economy going on. Obviously, we get the Hook. to discard our red seal gold card. If we even find it, of course. Might not find it here. Maybe throw this away. There it is. Okay, so first of all, let's do this. We want to play this for the money, so let's do that. Oh, there we go. That's okay. Well, now we don't have to think about this anymore. Let's just play our high cards. And there we go. Fortunately, we don't have to see this guy again. And we lost our Vanillix. Is the Croconaw enough on its own? Probably, but let's see if we can find something else, right? Let's not sell it yet. Or actually, we should sell it, since we want to be able to find it again. Before we open these packs, let's do some re-rolling. Can't use these. One more time. Sure, a Thunderstone could be useful. Let's do that, since it's going to add 2 gold cards. Let's just put some more gold cards in the deck. Could save it for the round, but we already have quite a few, so I'm not really worried about finding a gold card. Let's take it then. Open this one here. Let's see. Probably the Dragon Scale. We don't care about the Terra Orb. We don't care about the linking card. Horde, I should say. We don't care about the Miracle Seed. Obviously, we would care about the money, but we don't care about the X-Molt in the Flower card. We don't have any Psychic, so yeah, we're going to use the Dragon Scale. Let's make 5 this time, I guess. You can sell this Moon and use this Dragon Scale. Okay, upgrade is okay. And we just changed the type. That's great. Alright, let's see what's in here. We could Dragon Scale again. We could just use the Heartstone. I think we're going to do that. Can't use the upgrade since it might give us Mult. So let's sell this to save this. And then I guess we can sell this. I would take this Tall Grass if it weren't Eternal. Although probably it would violate the same principles as using a Pokeball. It could give us some X-Molt Joker or some plus Molt Jokers accidentally. So let's not do that and hope that a Croconaw is going to be enough to carry us through this round. Doesn't really matter when we use this, so let's turn this 2 into a stone and play our first high card. Since basically Croconaw is going to scale effectively exponentially, right, due to the scoring system of the Plasma deck, we should be okay. Okay, 25, one more time, can't play these. We could put down, actually no we can't because it makes it straight, so let's just play the 4-card high. Okay, so do we go for greed? Probably just play it safe. Unfortunately we can't use any more cards, so maybe we can discard this 5. Okay. Use this and this. And yeah, should have played the 7, but that's fine. Here we go. 3 gold cards, and we're gonna evolve pretty soon, so everything should be just fine. Let's try the standard pack first. Usually want to open the standard packs in case if you get a death card, for example. You might have the opportunity to copy the cool card that you find in the standard pack. But in this case, we could probably just take the 10. We can't take the Hollow 5, unfortunately. And the wild card doesn't matter, but extra chips are always welcome. Now let's see what we find in this Mega Arcana pack. We've got, let's see, a Death. We could make another Gold 7. Gold Seal 7, rather. Could make another Gold 5. Suits, we don't care. Could also use the Hierophant. That's probably more interesting than using the Death. As we saw, the 7 is a bit of a lower card, so it's hard to get maximum value out of it, and we're not necessarily super comfortable with just the 1-chips Joker. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to use the Hierophant here, and then get rid of these 2 cards here, or maybe actually turn this 2 into another bonus card. There we go. And we got quite a few bonus cards. It's going to help us with our scoring, so that we don't have to rely only on the crocodile. Got to keep in mind that we have the rocket here, although probably doesn't matter too much if we're playing high card. Not going to skip for the pocket tag, so let's go. Looking for some gold cards, I guess. Bit of an auspicious start. Don't play the straight here. Okay. I would like to play this 10, but I kind of can't, so let's do this, maybe this instead, just to be safe. 11, okay, now we can play this. Guess we can go discarding for some more gold cards later. Well, the next hand. Let's do that. 11, yeah, so the next one's gonna win. Let's try to find some lower cards to play this 7, although we probably have enough as it is. There we go, one more time. That should be plenty, and then we get plenty of gold up here. And we kind of need that money because we need some more jokers soon. Although, evolving into Feraligatr does help. Should guarantee at least a few more rounds. Let's see, we could take this Zigzagoon since we're theoretically playing a lot of hands, at least for now. A 1 in 4 chance isn't a lot, but it's still a value generator. So let's do that and re-roll before we open this Jumbo Spectral pack. We can take this Hardstone, re-roll one more time. The seal is pretty interesting. The seal gives you seals, get it? Haha. It doesn't score a lot on its own. I mean, it doesn't score at all on its own. Maybe that's actually a mark against it. If it wasn't eternal, I think we could take it, get a few seals in our cards, and then sell it again. But we probably need scoring, so let's skip on the seal and open this Spectral pack instead. Here we have an Immolate. Trance we don't want to use. Well, we can use it, but we don't want to. The Talisman could be okay. The Ectoplasm, we definitely don't need Joker slots right now. So I guess it's between the Talisman and the Immolate. Given that we have a lot of gold cards, let's just Immolate here, get some more money, do some more re-rolling. Huh. Okay. A regular seal, maybe not worth it, but 50 chips, I guess that justifies it well enough, right? We still have a few slots. Sure, right? Getting some red seals for the Hierophant cards would be pretty great. Some more red seals for gold cards and things like that. So yeah, let's do that. Gives us a little bit of scoring. Let's do one more reroll. And do we want this money? Probably. Sure. Let's go. Okay. Starting off with the red seal gold card. That's nice. Let's turn this 3 into a stone card and at least try to put a seal on this stone card. And we don't get there. That's fine. Let's just keep playing our high cards then. Should be a couple more. Ooh, almost. At least we can do this. Is there anything else? I guess we could look for some more gold cards. And no more gold cards, that's fine. Let's just take this instead. Okay, so you can see how the Feraligatr scales. It's just great. But we're still gonna need more at some point. Let's see here. We could reduce our deck by a few cards. That sounds great. Death, always great. We can copy our seals. Let's open this then, see if we can use the death here. Okay, okay. Let's maybe turn this jack. Yeah, let's diversify a little bit. Turn this jack into the ace. We can cut out this 8 and this 3, I guess. and probably energize the Feraligatr. Maybe a dragon scale, but oh, that's right, it's a dragon Feraligatr. I guess then we're gonna use the dragon scale again. Terra over for fire, we don't care, but we can just leave it there, changing types for now. The water stone is, sure, that's pretty nice. Let's do a couple rerolls. There's another great Chips Joker. Rental is annoying, but definitely worth it. Especially works well with Feraligatr since we want to play 5-card high card anyway. That's exactly what Weasel is looking for, so these two should be doing most of the heavy lifting. Maybe we need one more Chips Joker, or one more scaling Chips Joker, or 2 small Chips Jokers, like a couple extra foils. Let's see what else is here. Can't use this. Let's try one more time. Maybe I would have thought about the Snow Runt if it wasn't for the rental here. Glalie always resets our money to 0 at the end, but the rental costs only apply after you go back to 0, so any rental is going to be very costly with Glalie, unfortunately. I think it's a great economy Joker otherwise, but we can't do that here, so let's just move on. Now, let's make this a bonus card. Cross our fingers for a seal. Let's go. No seal again. Fortunately, when it evolves, there's no more 1 in 2 chance. You always get a seal, but it's gonna take a while. Leftovers, we don't care about that, so let's just whatever. We don't have a fairy type, so let's just play another high card. That's actually that might win. So instead, let's try to find some gold cards. There's some gold cards. Let's try this. Oh, well, now we can play the 7. Let's try to find some more gold, I guess. And nope. So, that's fine. Should be plenty. There we go. Okay, now we can use the Terra Orb. We don't care about making anything else dragons, so let's just feed it to the Feraligatr. Now we just need one more to get to the limit. Although, probably want this energy search. We don't have to get it now though, so let's try this Mega Buffoon pack first. We don't really care about any of these, I guess. Can't use the Tauros, can't use the Ursa Ring, can't use the Wooper. And to be fair, I'm not even going to put them in the tab to sell them. So let's just take this guy and skip. Gives us a little bit of money. That's always welcome. Maybe the Nicked is better though. We would have to evolve it with a Sunstone, and yeah, let's just go for the Nicked instead. Linking Cord, we don't care about that. Geodude, on the other hand, oh man, if I'd known there was a Geodude, I'd have taken that Linking Cord. We need that for Golem. Guess we're just gonna have to find another one though. Since we have plenty of gold cards, we have our gold seal. Let's just sell this guy. Now we should be clear to get to the end without using a single point of Mult. Let's try it out. So maybe do this, because why not? Cross our fingers for a seal one more time. Nope. I don't think that was there was a single seal so far, right? This one we got it in a Spectral Pack, Death. So that's not a great seal. Let's get rid of some of these duplicates. Now, don't get me wrong, playing Geodude with Weasel and Feraligatr is going to be a little awkward, and we're gonna have a little bit more trouble getting use out of our gold cards, but that's fine because we have the Joker lineup that we need. I'm pretty sure that these 3 are enough. And speaking of bad luck, with the seal, the Zigzagoon also hasn't given us a whole lot. We got this Leftovers, but who really cares about that at this point? Anyway, let's play maybe another one wins, so let's try to find some gold cards, I guess. There's no gold cards, but that's okay, I guess. No, we're gonna need another one. Maybe play this 7. And that was enough. Alright. Plenty of gold there. What do we got next? Let's check the boss before we go in blind. 1 and 7 face down. That's not a problem. Ooh. Kricketot. It's coming in a bit late, but it is one of my favorite jokers. It's one of the better economy jokers in the game. And it's especially easy to trigger when you're playing high card. Now, we do want the 5 card high cards, but with these 3 jokers, we should be able to survive easily, even if we're just playing 4 cards. Now, there is the consideration that as the Geodude evolves, it's going to give us less hand size, right? So maybe we're not going to be able to do it as much, but I think it's still going to be enough value that we sold the Zigzagoon here. It hasn't really done anything for us anyway. Let's do a little bit more re-rolling. That's Mult Joker, eventually, right? Pinsir is a Mult Joker. One more time. That's a Mult, that's a Mult. Okay. Well, the Cleffa would be justified because it only reduces the Mult, so we still have effectively less than 1 Mult. But this gives us Mult, so that's fine. Let's try this Arcana pack. And I forgot about the energy search, right? I guess we can live without it. Or we could just take this Temperance instead. That works too. Could have taken the Hierophant, but let's take the energy search. As I mentioned, right, energy really helps with the Chips Jokers more than anything. I guess we could do one more reroll. Terra Orb for Grass. Sure, let's get more money with Kricketot then. And use this, because why not? And move on. Still have 2 rounds of Seal, not giving us any seals. Alright, so for the Kricketot, we're missing a Clubs. So let's go digging for that. No, there we go. No, that was correct. Is this a Clubs? Oh, this is a Clubs. Hold on. There we go. Money for Kricketot. 25k, so we should be more than fine. Let's see. We have hearts, diamonds, spades, so I guess we need another Clubs. Is this a Clubs? Maybe. Is this a Clubs? Probably. So let's... maybe it's a 4 though. Yeah, maybe we just discard these guys. Sure. There we go. Okay. So another hand shouldn't win, so let's do... Oh wait, we still don't have clubs. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, let's play this out then, I guess. Sure. Is this a clubs? Nope. So too bad, I guess. Might. Could it be a queen? It could actually. No, it couldn't. Because otherwise, it. Okay. Let's do. Well, actually, it doesn't really matter. But anyway, whatever. In fact, it wasn't a queen. Okay, we're gonna need one more. That's fine. Do we risk it? No, we might get a pair. Alright, so whatever. Let's just do this. And move on. Did we get a seal with seal after all? We did not. So that's 4 whiffs in a row. Great. Okay. Let's see here. We have a pocket pack. Let's see if we can find some stuff to leave here first. No. That's a lot of Mult. This is not Mult, but we're not playing flushes. Lantern is a great chips joker in a vacuum, but since it wants to play pairs, we can't play pairs here. We're not going to take that. One more time. That's not what we're looking for, so let's open this pocket pack. Okay, we have no dark jokers. We can't use the metal coat, so we have a choice between the hardstone and the waterstone. We could maybe turn one of these into a stone card or a bonus card. Doesn't work great with Weasel since it's eventually going to score more, although maybe not more than double trigger stones, especially if we use the hard stone here. It gets even more chips, so let's do that, right? With Geodude evolving to Graveler and eventually into Golem, we're not really going to have room in our hand anyway. So let's do that. Okay. And maybe we don't re-roll this one and go next. Looking for a Spade card to fulfill our Cricketot's condition here. Maybe throw away this 2. Did I just throw away the diamond? I did, didn't I? Ay, ay, ay. Okay, let's try one more time. Could throw this, could throw this, can throw not this. Now we're looking for a diamond. Okay, there we go. Okay, there's the diamond. Boom. Okay. Now we can do this. Right. 5.2 is more than 3, so let's play this gold card. Shouldn't win, right? Nope. Now we can't do the Cricketot thing because we have 2 5s here, so instead let's maybe try this. Okay, one more time, so now we can guess we can dig for some... Oh no, we can't. We don't have any more discards, never mind. Can we do the Cricketot thing? We can if we do this. Great. Okay. Now we're going to start getting our seals, though it's getting a bit late for that. Now we get a bunch more chips, so yeah. Should be pretty smooth sailing from now on. Do we want this spin rack not at a rental? We're not going to be able to use this Cricketot long, but this is not worth it. So, might as well get a foil card, right? Let's see if there's anything in here. Got a purple seal? Sure. See, the shop is giving us more seals than this seal. Fortunately, it's a dugong now. Let's take this queen then. Don't have a lot of discards, but value is value. Let's try re-rolling. Okay, fine. Maybe I could take the spinner rack as a non-rental, but I prefer to make money. We still have a little bit of time. We don't even have a linking cord yet, so Mimikyu. It would make things a little bit annoying, I guess. We have a bunch of hearts, especially... Oh my god, the bonus cards are almost all hearts, so this is just going to be a headache and probably not worth it. Let's just keep re-rolling. More energy for the Feraligatr, sounds good. Maybe don't re-roll another time. Let's try here. Okay, we're looking for hearts and diamonds, so let's get rid of these. We can keep this, I guess. I'm looking for hearts and diamonds. There's... Oh my god, this is not exactly what I had in mind. Okay, we need the clubs. Yeah, alright, fine, let's throw this away. Okay, there's a club. Play this. Oh, now we're getting seals, huh? That's another purple seal queen, sure. Let's just do this for value, I guess. Okay, maybe... Oh, this is a straight. Okay, let's do it like this then. Can't do the Cricketot now. Okay, one more hand should clear. There we go. So we're not quite at the end game levels yet, but we are definitely on the right path. Now we just need to find ourselves a linking cord because 275 chips, that's a lot of chips, especially if we find some energy for this Graveler. So let's reroll here. We don't care about any of these. Well, not that we don't care, that we can't care. Let's see. Farfetch'd. Probably a better moneymaker than Cricketot at this point with the Graveler, the -2 hand size. But there's a chance that the leak will become holographic or polychrome, so that's a no-no. Let's just check this pocket pack then. Oh, whoa. Speaking of energy for the Graveler, do we want anything else? We could take this Waterstone. It's perfectly justified, but let's just increase 50 chips for free, basically. Okay, it wasn't free, but you know what I mean. Let's go next. This boss, the random type, is debuffed. Probably won't matter. Okay, so we don't have the Cricket Tot for this one. We don't care about using the blue seal, so let's just do this. Probably do that. Okay. Wait. Did I accidentally play something wrong? No, right? Not sure why the float there wasn't working. Anyway, whatever. Let's discard this queen. Get a tarot. The star, we don't care about that, so let's just play 5 cards. Okay, now it's working. Oh, I guess it was probably just a visual bug. There we go. Okay. Graveler's debuffed, but that's fine. We're pretty close to the end anyway. So I guess we just look for some gold. Well, actually, maybe if we do it like this, we can find maybe another spade to get the Cricket Tot value. Bummer. In this case, keeping it in hand is actually more money, so let's just do this instead. And clear the round. There we go. Get some more temperance value, I guess. And there we go. I can't use this. We'd want both of these, but let's see if we can find anything to keep in our tab. These are Mult guys, so no. Could be a bit doof, but that's an eternal. At this point, like I mentioned, we're not going to get too much value from the Cricket Tot. But I guess we're still sort of okay. Let's try this pocket pack then. Let's see, we got Twisted Spoon for an Earth Energy, probably. We don't really need money. We want more scoring. Could also take this for the Cricket Tot, but as I mentioned, we're probably not going to use it too much anymore, so let's just sell this and use this. Really looking for that linking cord, but we'll get there eventually. Strength we don't care about, Judgment we don't care about, Moon we don't care about, so let's just skip here. Do we do another reroll? Oh, that was not on purpose, but sure. We don't get anything anyway, so let's just go next. Boss here is playing only one hand type. That is great. If we had the boss where we had to play only different hand types, we would have to restart. So that's cool. Anyway, we don't want to take any of these skips, so let's just go next. Maybe do this? Or actually, there we go. Get a seal on the king. Pink seal. Sounds good to me. Cricket Tot activated instead, so let's maybe... maybe we don't want to use this Hangman, so let's just... we can sell the Hangman, but... yeah, we don't really need to use this. Let's do that and get rid of these two, I guess. Sure. Hierophant, okay. Let's do that here then. Then we need a diamond and a heart. There we go. Okay. Getting pretty close to our goal. I think if we are able to evolve the Graveler, we should be fine. We're probably going to end up selling this Cricketoon, but we're getting to the end, but we're going to have more and more trouble using it, so let's enjoy it while we can. Get some more money. And there we go. That clears it. Still had a discard to use, I guess, but that's fine. There's our linking cord. We don't actually care about using it with anything. We don't care too much about ranks. Although maybe we could undo a few queens. But that's not too important. Let's just use it then. Okay. That's the thing about, if you're not very familiar with Pokermon yet, The evolution items, you don't have to use them with their condition, right? So I can even use them in the middle of the shop here, as long as I just highlight or click on the relevant joker. So we could have used the linking cord after opening this pocket pack, but it's not necessary, right? If we don't care about using the item itself. So let's see what's in this buffoon pack. That's nothing very interesting, I believe. We basically, I think, effectively have one more round to use the Cricketune, so let's keep that. We don't care about any of these. Let's skip here and open this guy. Probably the water energy for the float soul. Prism scale doesn't matter. Pokeball can't be used. Upgrade can't be used, so let's do that. Love Disc. Love Disc is effectively a free death card. Well, okay, not free, but I still think I would rather keep the Cricketune. We don't really need to use death when we're playing high card like this, so let's just keep our money and go next. Alright. We discard it, or do we... Oh no, but we have a Clubs Queen. Maybe. Could have used the linking cord here. Maybe. Let's just discard this and these, I guess. Chariot, we can't use that, but I think now we got our Cricketune value, okay. There's another purple seal, never hurts. Let's... we don't have a club. Do we want to dig for that? Sure. Let's do one more discard. Okay, there's a club, heart, and spade. Perfect. There we go, and we're not even getting maximum value out of the float soul and for alligator, so we should be fine. For the boss... Wait, no, we don't have a diamond card, so let's just do this. Keep this. Is this gonna win? Probably. There we go. Barely, but it did. But now with the golem, we should be clear, right? We mentioned that we need about 900 chips per hand. This gets us halfway there on its own, right? Then you get another, wait, not 45, like 60 times 4, that's 240 here. This also grows pretty high, so with our Hierophant cards and everything else, we should be okay, pending the boss. This boss is great, actually. No planet cards, no Mult. Let's... Oh man. Trubbish would have been one of the better ones to get in the beginning of the game, right? It gets not only chips, but a bunch of money with the garbage tags when you evolve the Garbodor. But sadly, that's not in the cards for us. Yes, we could sell the Cricket Dot, but it's going to grow too slowly to be relevant here. So let's just keep re-rolling. Can't take this Nicket. Twisted Spoon for water energy? Sure. That works for me. We probably don't need it at this point, but it's certainly not hurting. Let's go. The mouth. We already have a seal here, so we don't want to play that card. So maybe we put the seal on the stone there. Yeah, so now it's going to be really hard to use the Cricketune. But that's okay. Got a red seal. That's perfect. Okay. With the exponential growing on the Feraligatr, we're definitely going to be fine. So let's discard these guys. No, we need a spade, right? So let's sell this guy. Maybe do this. Cross our fingers. Boo. I mean, we could do this. But at this point, it's probably just better to keep the ace in hand. So let's just... Can't use the High Priestess. Let's get rid of that. Let's play this. Still have plenty of hands, so one more time. And there we go. Alright, so before we do anything here, let's just make sure that we're not going to do anything dumb with regards to the boss. Flips and shuffles all jokers. That is actually probably the best joker, the best final boss we could ask for, since the order of the cards does not matter at all. And okay, if we weren't guaranteed before, now with this grabber, we're definitely guaranteed. We're going to have 6 hands. The Feraligatr growing exponentially all the time, so let's just do that. Maybe we check these standard packs, sure. Could find maybe... we don't want just naked stone cards at this point. Right? Floatzel is already giving us 72 chips, so let's skip that. Maybe take the other standard pack. Guess... oh, we can't use this guy because it's a steal, so no dice. Maybe, sure, one more reroll. Would have liked to find something to replace the Cricketune, since we're not really using it anymore, but haven't found anything, so maybe if we draw a club card here, huh? Just a club, please. That's not a club. Maybe one more time for the club. Oh, bummer. That's okay. Let's just get a seal on this ace. Keep this guy upstairs. We don't need it for scoring. Yeah, we definitely don't. Maybe should have been a bit more careful. So let's get an energy. If we played this, just the one, how many chips is that? Yeah, that's plenty. So maybe just play this one. And last one. Sag for the purple seals, but that's fine. Okay. Just a couple more rounds then. Goldeen would have been amazing before we found this golem. A bit late for that now. If you're not familiar, right, it re-triggers the gold cards in your hand once, and Sea King does it twice. So it's incredible to put blue seals, red seals on your gold cards, and all sorts of shenanigans. But not for us right now. Let's just check these packs. Looking for probably energy. Cricketune, not very useful. Could get this money, I guess. We already have plenty of value here on the Dugong, thanks to this leftovers. So let's do that, right? This is already at minimum value, so that's okay though. Let's do a couple rerolls now. Could be... I don't really think we can even use the death maybe to get some more purple seals. Let's just open this. There's a colorless energy. We're almost at the end, so we could use that. We could use the Twisted Spoon for another Dusk Stone. We don't particularly need that. So let's just... sure, why not? Not as much as an Earth energy, obviously, but we have plenty of energy count. Let's try one more. Nope. Okay. Second to last round. Let's play the non-seal card. Okay, that's another purple seal. Sure. Maybe turn this 3 into another ace, since I don't think we need to play actually 5 cards. We're doing plenty of scoring as it is. So let's do that. Discard this king. Sure, let's play the 7. There we go. Maybe this now. Okay, maybe getting a little sketchy. Let's try this then. $150? No, okay, we're fine. Maybe try to find one more gold card. Nope. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we didn't get to 800,000 here, so maybe in the next round we don't really care. Oh, well, actually, we're not going to care about preserving the gold cards, obviously. It's going to be the last round. So let's just open this here, open this here. We don't really need anything. I guess we'll just get some more energy for the Floatzel. Do some last re-rolling here. It's our last round, so we can go all the way to the end. Can't use the shiny stone. Nope. And one more time. Nope. That's fine. Let's just go. Don't care about the order. Here we can just play the cards. Oh, we're not going to get... We're going to replace the seal. Too bad. Maybe replace the seal here. Doesn't matter. Okay. There we go. One more time. Okay. Wait. Oh, yeah. Can't make pairs. Maybe throw away this king then. There we go. Should be enough, maybe. Okay, one more. And there we go. 800,000. And we have beaten a gold stake plasma run with absolutely no Mult whatsoever, right? If you want to try out the seed, it's over here. I'm going to put it in the description below. It's going to change, right? The seed, the random things that are going to appear are going to change as soon as the new patch hits. But I'll try to keep an updated seed in the description whenever possible, right? So that you can try it for yourself, regardless of the patch that you're on. Anyway, let's go back here. So if you take a look at our run info, right, we only used high cards, except for this first flush that I used to clear the first round, right, which we can't win with high card. Otherwise, only high cards, 0 Mult, right, no holographic, no polychrome, no Mult cards, right, nothing like that, no flower cards, not even lucky cards, wild cards, although those don't really matter at this point. So yes, it is absolutely possible, right, to beat Gold Stake Plasma with just chips. We did get a little bit lucky when we found the Geodude. Obviously, they're not going to guarantee to find it. It's a common, so I guess it's pretty easy to find, but again, not guaranteed. Floatzel is another great common one. Well, the Weasel's common. But it's going to give you a lot of chips, right? For Alligator, the Totodile not so easy to find. It's an uncommon, but you can get it in starter packs, and sometimes you just luck into it. So yeah, these three on their own, probably enough to do it. As I mentioned, we need around 900 chips. Golem here is giving us 481, right? Floatzel is giving us a bunch more. So it's definitely possible, right? It's a pretty fun challenge, I think. And yeah, you do need to find a Chips Joker, any kind of Chips Joker really, in the first shop to have a chance. But I still think it's worth it. I think it's a pretty fun challenge, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Obviously, this whole thing was a pretext to talk about the Plasma deck, right? Normally, when we talk about the Plasma deck, we think about the transition to X-Mult, right? But that's usually necessary only strictly in endless runs, right? Then you're going to want to obviously scale with the game, so the additive chips jokers aren't really going to be enough. But for an 8 ante, right, for a non-endless run, it's definitely possible, it's definitely doable, and you certainly don't need any Mult, right? Sometimes it helps, right? Get a transition to get a few Mult, then get some ridiculous X-Mult. You're probably going to be scoring more than this, right? But it's definitely not necessary, right? Something to keep in mind when you're doing future Plasma runs, right? It's good to think about a transition to X-Mult, but it's not strictly necessary per se, right? We were able to get plenty of economy going, right? We didn't need a lot of deck manipulation specifically because we were playing high card. Usually with chips you're going to end up playing high card, right? All of these cards encourage you to play high card. So yeah, so deck manipulation is not really necessary, but we got plenty of seals, right? We got plenty of gold, even though we weren't really able to use it at the end. Right, plenty of bonus cards, giving us lots of scoring from the cards themselves. So maybe a retrigger would have been nice, although maybe not with high card. Anyway, that'll be all for today. I hope you all had a good time, and if you did, you can do all the YouTube stuff to help the channel out. And I will see you soon, Cascoon.